Oh, hello.
Oh,
it's St Helens. That's who's. Oh, I don't need their name. I know who they are.
hey.
And it's Mike Lloyd from the
Hi, Mike.
Yeah. So, Mike, can we make? Do you want a special dojo on every course? Is that something you want to make a special arrangement?
What are we on about?
I said you had your own private dojo at Marple. Do you want that to be arranged for every course? Mike Lloyd's private dojo.
You're still confused. I've luckily got on. Yeah.
Hi, Hepsy. I can take you off apologies now, can't I? Oh, you're muted. Yeah.
Didn't send them.
Right, so I'm conscious of the fact that the time will be limited. If we do overrun and we do switch off, then you know, if we haven't quite finished, then you just have to log back on again. But hopefully, if we can whip through it, we did last year, so we can. So, shall I start the meeting? I've got everybody's name there, so we can pick that up, and it is being recorded. So if anybody knows of anybody who wants the meeting record, we can send that out. So thanks everybody. Welcome to the AGM. Apologies I've received are from Neil, Andy Molyneux, was Hepsy, but Hepsy's here. Anybody else got any specific apologies that want to be listed?
Well, Mark Blunt at St Helens would have been with us, but he's got family business today. So Mark Blunt.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Mike.
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Hiya. Hi.
Blah.
Hi, Irene. We've just this second started. So first of all, minutes from last year's meeting. Everybody okay with those? Can we have somebody to approve them?
I read them and proved them.
Okay, that's Mike. Just a second.
Yeah, I'll second them.
Oh, Graham, okay. All right. There are just a few matters arising. One was there was an item on there for the post-pandemic marketing plan. It was an action for the Aikido Management Group. That's now with the Executive Management Board, I suppose. I think nothing actually happened that I'm aware of for that, but I think all clubs are back. Most clubs are back running. So unless anybody's specifically got anything to mention there, I suggest we just let things run because we're all back to normal again. There was an action for renewal numbers. Ian, I'm not sure what that was.
I put all the renewal stuff on the membership report, so
that's dealt with. Okay, or will be dealt with. Good. There was some items relating to Memorial Sense's last visit. There's nothing outstanding on that. They were all dealt with. John Brook, there was an addendum to be issued for the Berry Club article. Did that get done?
No, I don't think they did. No. Sorry, what was the addendum again?
I don't know. I think did the newsletter go out? Was there an article missing or something, Graham, that you mentioned at the last meeting?
Oh, can't remember now.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you can't remember, it's obviously very minor, isn't it? We're now on to the next one. So
I think there was one missing, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Not a problem.
The new executive board had an intro meeting that happened, so they're all up and running. Ian stepped up to take on the role of the data protection coordinator. Irene stepped up to help with media and took over the social media. That was that. And there's an item on, there's an action on the handbook. I believe that, I think that comes up as an AOB, Christine. So
Okay.
shall we deal with that later?
Well, it's done. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So those are the matters arising. Reports from the executive. There's I think all the reports have actually been issued. So principal report from Mr. Spence, Executive Management Board report. Anything you want to add to the report that's gone in, or any questions for the EMB from anybody? No.
No, thank you.
Okay. The only thing I was just going to mention is there was the actual management group for the board was supposed to be for a one-year term. I know Mark Lunt has said he's happy to run for another one. Christine Graham, are you happy to carry on? And is there anybody else chomping at the bit to get involved?
Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
happy, but it's not exactly arduous. So if anybody would like to put their name down, there wasn't very much, was
Yeah.
there?
No,
No.
and it's actually, I think it's running as I had hoped, in that it isn't an awful lot of work for anybody on that. So we'll get that one going. The Aikido Management Board.
Chris,
Yeah.
Chris, I'm happy to carry on unless somebody else is chomping
Yeah.
at the bit.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah. All right. The Aikido Management Board, is there anything the board want to add to their report or any questions? Bearing in mind that Aikido board is Aikido matters, so probably outside this meeting anyway. But grading review group, their report's been issued. My secretary's report has. Any questions for me as secretary from anybody? Oh, great, I like this. Mr. Treasurer, your report's gone in. Is there anything you want to say, or is there any questions for Treasurer?
I tried to give you a bit more information this year because I get asked questions every year that I can't answer. So I've tried to preempt them. Having said that, Andrew's already asked me a question before the meeting, but hopefully he's got his answer. I've tried to give you a breakdown of the Hombu costs so we can get an idea of what they're costing us. You'll notice in the year we actually lost £739 in total. That doesn't sound as bad as it looks, because we had two exceptional items in the year. One was a write-off of £500 for a loan to the Disbury Club that unfortunately closed in the year. And we also supported the Mimuros with their travel costs and expenses and such like to the tune of £500. So those two items are exceptional, really. And we wouldn't expect them to occur on a recurring basis. So if you take those out, it's not too bad. I've tried to give you a breakdown of the course income and expenditure as far as I've got it. I don't always get all the course income and expenditure. I sometimes just get the net figure, but it gives you a rough idea that we are washing our faces on most of these courses, with the exception, obviously, of the Mimuro course, where there's a specific reason for that last year, where Mimuro was taken ill before delivering the course, so we had to make some refunds.
Did you say washing our faces?
Yeah.
Can you explain that for some of the more unfamiliar?
Some of the people that don't get washed. But washing your faces generally means breaking even. So
Thank you.
hopefully that's cleared that canard to your satisfaction. Yeah, generally the point on the courses is we are generally breaking even or making a small profit on the courses where we're running them. So that's good. The one we will have to look at in more detail is the Mimuro course, and that's probably a matter for later and a later meeting. Apart from that, I have nothing else I want to add. Just one thing, there was a contribution from the Mond Club, which didn't get put through in this current year because there were all sorts of problems about who had the authority to make transfers. In the end, Ray had to go and get a checkbook and write us a check, which meant it was delayed until the 5th of January this year, and we did receive a contribution of £425 from the demise of the Mond Club. So just to record that and say thank you to them for passing that monies on. I noticed it was mentioned in Graham's report earlier.
Thanks, Ian. Any questions from Mr. Treasurer?
No, thank you.
Good. Okay. So we need to approve the accounts? Can we have a seconder, please? Somebody can approve the accounts? I'll approve them. Can the secretary approve the treasurer's accounts? I don't know. Seconder?
Yeah, I'll second it, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Very good.
Okay. Membership fees recommendation for next year, Ian. What we're going to do is I can't remember. Have we already? We've probably already.
Stays the same. 24 and 7.
Yeah.
So 24 full membership, 12 half membership, 7 remains the same for the insurance.
Okay, that's good.
I take it there's no increase in the BAB fees this year.
They haven't notified us of any. We're still paying the £7.
Right.
So,
Okay, on to the general reports. I just updated the organisational chart, and that's been issued on the website, just updating with a few names. Item 10, Hombu. The only thing that's been recently added, I'm not sure when anybody's picked that up, is this item on future links, which, just in case anybody hasn't read it, as part of the ongoing process of future proofing, we've been discussing with Mimura Sensei about the Aikikai, Lancashire Aikikai, having a direct link with Hombu Dojo at some point in the future. It's something that was always on the cards right from the start when we actually joined up with Mimura Sensei, our technical director. There's no specific time scale for this, but it would be good to have something in place for that. So there's that discussions on that are going on in the background. The AMB have actually approved sort of proposal in principle, and then the EMB, the executive board, will take it forward in due course. So it's nothing happening just yet. And then there's the other item that sadly looks like Mimura Sensei will probably not be able to visit us this year. And the association, sort of, we're aware of the need to provide access to Mimura Sensei for our ongoing downgradings. So again, it's something that we're very aware of, and we're looking at ways where we can try and assist Mimura to come over in future years. So it's something that we're conscious that we need to keep on board and keep everybody aware of. So just to flag up that there's discussions going on in the background, and we'll just keep everybody informed as and when we can. But that's something I just added into our Hombu report. Thanks to Chris Austin from Bury for taking on the Hombu role from me. Really appreciated, Chris, on that. So that's it for the Hombu report. Membership, insurance and gradings. Anything on that, Ian?
I've tried to give you as much information as is available. You'll notice on the second page that we are slightly downgrade heavy. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means we haven't got enough Q grades. So obviously anything we can do to balance that out. 26 downgrades, 24 Q grades.
Doesn't mean that the downgrades are actually heavier than the Q grades, does it?
It often does, doesn't it? But we'll leave that to one side.
Some downgrades will be dropping off in the near future anyway.
Is that an admission for you, Graham?
It certainly is.
Yeah, so I've nothing much to add. You can see the number of new members, not been too bad, slightly down, but of course we lost two clubs during the year, so overall not too bad. But again, anything we can do to generate more members, we should.
Okay. Just one thing, I was talking before you came on meeting with Christine, and I think Ian, you and I have spoken briefly about it before. One or two people, sort of newer members, I presume, haven't been receiving emails for the that go out from the MailChimp, and I think it's just this thing that the emails get through on the membership applications and come through to you. But at the moment, I'm managing the database for the MailChimp, and it's just getting new members on. In the past, what we've done is club leaders have passed information to me, and then I've put it on. But if we can actually have a chat about maybe closing that loop, it's got to be an easy thing to do to try and just get those emails for new members onto MailChimp. But I think we did speak about it a while ago, but
Can't remember.
no, I can't. But just,
yeah. Anything
I think,
to keep them involved is a good idea.
yeah. So outside this meeting, we'll have a chat at some point. It's not urgent, but we'll try and make sure that we get that new members' details onto the database. Any other questions for Ian on membership? No. BAB. Anything more to add, Sue, or anything to ask of Sue on the BAB?
No, nothing to add.
Okay. Coach liaison, that's you again, Sue, isn't it? Same.
Still nothing more to add.
Okay. Back to Ian again. With your data protection hat on, anything?
I've done absolutely nothing other than volunteer to do this. Since then, I've had no data breaches or subject access requests.
Okay. Child protection, Isfan, anything?
No, just what in the report that we're gonna run DBS checks every 3 years, just to make sure that everybody has the DBS up to date.
Okay, thank you. Course planning group, anything from the CPG other than what's in your report?
I wanted to, well, not to the report, no, not particularly.
No, is that a no then?
I'll
Nothing
say,
to add.
yes, I'll say it's a no. I was just going to say that's for last year. There's sort of update for this year, but no, we'll stick with one thing first.
Okay. Media group, anything from? I've just got thanks to John Brook for taking on the lead on the media group, and to Irene for taking on the social media. Great. Anything from the media group, Andrew, on the website or social media, newsletter, anything you want to add? Must have a newsletter coming out soon, John, have we?
Oh, yes, I'm going to start looking at what people have sent me. I think I've got enough to do something. So yes, get one out about mid-March.
Right.
Can I ask a question of Irene? I mean, you're doing a really good job, and I'm following you on Facebook and picking all the stuff up from Facebook. But I wasn't sure if we're on any other platforms as well, because I'm not following on any other platforms.
Yeah, it's Instagram and Twitter.
You're on those, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look you up. Under Lancashire Kikai.
Yeah. So it's the Lancashire Kikai for the three of them. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Good. So that brings us on to any other business. Christine, handbook. I think you just want to update and say it's done, isn't it?
It's done. I hope everybody has seen that it's available. It's now just a PDF, so it can be updated regularly, and it's a shortened PDF from what, because nobody wants to print 28 pages, do they? From what it was before, with lots of links to the website, because the website has got tons of great information, but because it's got tons of great information, sometimes you lose your way. So I've tried to put as many links in as possible, and thank you to the people who proofread, suggested, did all sorts. We kind of it's kind of taken longer than one anticipated, but it's done.
Yeah, well done. It's great. Thanks,
It's a great job. I think that thanks should go to Christine particularly, and any others who've been involved, because
Well, I'd had to have a lot of help from from Andrew at the end.
not forgetting Andrew. No, I mean it's such a good job. The paper one was a pain in the neck eventually. It was a good idea originally, many years ago, but I mean, in this computer age, it just had to be digital, and now it is. So it's great.
Actually, that does raise something. Mr. Secretary, you left me with certainly a box full of handbooks. Can I pulp them now?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah. I suppose keep one for posterity.
One in the archive.
Okay, thanks, Christine. The second item, which is the future links with Hombu, I covered that earlier, so that's all dealt with. And then the third item, which is an ongoing item, which is we're always looking for members to step forward and help bringing new blood into the management and the running of the association. That's actually happening now with with the likes of Isfan, Irene, and coming on board to help. So that is actually happening. So that's That's good. I suppose, Ian, you really do with somebody to take data protection, couldn't you? I know it's not a.
Take the whole 3 for me.
Yeah, it's not demanding, but it's just, yeah, it's just better if we can spread it around. So if there's somebody, I think keeping the membership and the treasurer role, I think you say that's quite beneficial to do that, isn't it?
The member and the treasurer role need to be kept together because it really does help to do the 2 of them at the same time.
Yeah.
You then can link in with what's owed to various people like the BAB.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So
Just a question on that, Ian. Are we any further forward on the sort of digital applications and digital handling?
At the moment, we're still doing the old method of doing it. And really, that's down to Shirley Timms. She doesn't like anything that's not in the Stone Ages, to be honest. I mean, she was extremely reluctant to accept automatic bank transfers rather
Ridiculous.
than checkout. So we ended, we were writing checks out and they were going all over the place at one point. But I haven't got any further than that. I mean, it works okay. We just send her 1 email a month, and then that matches in with the payment that I make electronically. So it works okay at the moment. I mean, we can update it, but I suspect it will be after Shirley steps down from her current role.
Yeah, I would have thought that the BAB would have been champing at the bit with having so many people to deal with.
There is an issue. There is an ongoing issue to try and make it electronic. They just haven't got the background facility to do it.
Right.
If you read the reports that have gone out, they've been trying to work out with individual associations how it can be done. They've experimented, but they haven't actually gone across the whole of the BAB yet. But they did at one point ask for volunteer associations to try and do it all electronically.
Yeah.
I mean, the most ridiculous thing is that we have to put a return in every month for renewal of insurance, depending on when you joined. Why they can't just time apportion it for the first period and then renew everybody on the 1st of January, I have no idea. But that's what we have to do. It's absolutely crackers.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? I think that must be the shortest meeting we've had. I'm conscious of not trying to rush people through, but we're done. So unless anybody got anything to add, any other business, we'll close the meeting and say thank you.
Can I just ask one question? It's really just for clarification. You can tell me if it's not for this meeting, but we're talking about closer links to Hombu.
Yeah.
We make those closer links to Hombu. Do we still need to be a member of the BAB?
I don't know. I think we would need to be, Andrew probably know better than me, but I would have thought we still got to be involved with a governing body within the UK, and that would either be the BAB or the JAC. I would have thought, because we need a governing body for all sorts of reasons. I would have thought. Is that right, Andrew?
I think that's so, because you need to take on board getting insurance and things like that and have policies. If you're a member of the BAB, it is a recognised body by the Sports Council and other bodies like that. When they give lottery grants out, there's a check that you are BAB part of that organisation.
Yeah.
There are things that JAG are not able to offer through not being recognised by the government departments. But in answer to the strict question, if you go to Hombu or you go now, you can walk away from BAB and JAG, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I think the two are separate, Ian, really, because I don't think the Hombu link is really just for our Aikido link for gradings and stuff like that, whereas the BAB is an organisational body with insurance and stuff like that. We wouldn't get anything like that through link with Hombu.
Yeah, Chris is right. The Hombu is Aikido and standards and grades and such like. The BAB never gets involved with that, purely deals with administrative matters.
Yeah, it's all right, Ian?
Yeah, just really an open question rather than anything else.
Yeah.
Graham Harrison wants to come in.
Yeah, Graham.
I was just reminding you about after meeting.
Oh, yeah, is it just you, me and Andrew, was it? Or Christine?
And Chris.
Christine, Andrew, and me. I'll tell you, this is likely to go off in about another sort of 4 or 5 minutes. So when everybody goes off, if Andrew, Graham, Christine, and me can just log back on again.
Okay.
Was it me as well you wanted, or just this?
Yeah, might as well have you.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you, Graham. Okay, thank you very much, guys. So I'll close the meeting and hope to see you all on the next course.
Folks, see you on the
Again
map,
soon.
my loves.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Anybody?
I'll take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.